My name is Peggy, and I'm here today to share with you a testimony. If it wasn't for the grace of God and also Sid Roth ministry, I would not be able to walk. I lost my capacity to walk last year, and through post-traumatic stress disorder, and I was injured. How did this happen? It was 20 years ago. I was hit by a bus on my way to the theatre. I was working in a community theatre. I was in a play, but I was also the assistant stage manager and also the prompt. When I was hit by the bus, I fractured my knee. And the message that the theatre got was that I was dead.
Good evening. My name is Linda Rowley. Tonight, a comedy will be performed. But tragically, one of the cast, our assistant stage manager and prompt, has been tragically killed by a bus. After a meeting with the cast, we have decided to go ahead with this play in memory of Peggy. Hello?
Hello? Yes?
What?
How did it go last night, Linda?
Peg? You're supposed to be dead.
No, I was knocked over. What did she say? I was knocked over by the bus and taken to hospital.
Peggy, we all thought you were dead.
But after that, that healed, but it left me with vertigo and what they call PTSD. But I've managed for 20 years, but you don't bury an emotion. And certain times over those years, I get dizzy and feel a bit of vertigo and just say to my friends, look, I have to go home, I don't feel well, but I managed. But I think with life and the way things happen and disappointments and discouragements and things don't turn out the way you'd hoped, I had a series of disappointments last year, and it just all came down. I think there's also a spiritual reason as well, but I just can't go into that at the moment. So I just couldn't walk. I could walk so far, but then my head would spin and I'd get the vertigo and also panic attacks. And I went to the doctors twice, and the doctor said he couldn't do anything for me, that I would have to perhaps have some cognitive therapy and maybe, excuse me, some Valium. And well, I couldn't get in a car to go and have any cognitive therapy. But I did try the Valium and it didn't work. I found that even though I took some, it just didn't work. I'd feel calm. I also tried chamomile tea, which I recommend, but it just wouldn't stop the panic attack or the vertigo if I was trying to get to the shops. So I only had one choice left, and that was God. I'd been watching Sid Roth for about 3 years, and I'd found it a real blessing. And so I thought, well, I'll just watch a bit more of this.
For this edition of It's Supernatural.
And then I decided to partner with the ministry, and I found that the promises in Genesis, those who bless the Jewish people are blessed, I found it worked, because after I partnered with the ministry, my healing started to accelerate. And not only that, the mentoring kit that Sid sends was such a blessing. I heard and learned so many things that I didn't know before, and also going into the mentoring sessions, being a partner and being part of the mentoring sessions was wonderfully helpful. And I had a choice. I could either give up or apply what I'd been taught and the resources that I sent away for. So I decided to give it a go. It was either stay at home, be incapacitated, and perhaps have a walker, and not being able to go out. I was left with that choice. I have friends and they said, oh, we'll pray for you, but I could see the fear in their faces. They really didn't think I could pull through because of age, I suppose, or I don't know, but they weren't, I could tell by their actions, not by what they said, that they really weren't helpful, that they really didn't expect me to pull through. Well, I just sat here and I thought, right, what am I going to do? I thought, I'm going to give God a go. I'm going to fight this with the Word of God. And so I got Sid's healing scriptures on CD, and I had my little note taker. I put my earplugs in.
It's yours. So I want you to attack this two ways. I want you to meditate on the Word yourself and listen to the Word as often as you can.
And I'd walk up the street and listen to them. I had a notebook, and sometimes I would say them, memorize them. And also I did listen to Jen Johnson's 2 songs. I think I must have listened to her songs about 3,000 times, I calculated.
Jesus, just a whisper of your name will silence wind and waves at the mention of your name.
But yes, I did get through this, and I'm doing this testimony because if it can encourage just one person out there to give God a go and to fight it with His Word, you can do it. And if it gives just one person hope, it's worth going through all this embarrassment. It is embarrassing to do this. But I'm most grateful to God. But God has worked through this ministry. I can't deny that, and I appreciate all the prayers of my friends too. But I cannot deny the fact that God has worked through this ministry. And I wouldn't be able to walk today without the healing grace that God has brought me through. All the resources, the mentoring, watching the program, watching the archive programs. It's been such a blessing, and I'd just like to encourage anybody out there, give it a go. Don't give up. God is good.
All right, I think we've got the shot, Peggy. No more crossing shots today. We've done enough.
What was the tipping point? What was the thing that really hit home that you needed to do to change and improve your situation?
Well, freedom is a choice, really, and you have to say, well, am I just going to accept the situation, or am I going to fight it, fight the symptoms? And I had that choice. To be honest, I'd hoped it would work. I didn't know whether I had enough faith to believe it would work. And I thought, well, this is up to you, God. I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to apply the principles and the scriptures, and I'm just not going to sit here and take it. I'm going to fight. I thought, well, I'm going to go down fighting. What have I got to lose? The only thing is, I can only get better.
Stay one step closer.
And so that's what I did, step by step. It took me 3 months to cross the road where the shops are. It took me 3 months. I'd get up there and I'd be hanging on, and as you'll see, and I'd think, oh, it's a bit hard. I went back home, but I was happy that at least I got up there, which is uphill. It takes about 10 minutes, but just bit by bit. And it's taken a long time, but if you'd told me 12 months ago I'd be sitting here doing a testimony about this, I would have thought, oh yeah, you know, I would have been very surprised. But I was standing on a bus stop and my walking stick was commented on. I explained I was waiting for a new one as part of a costume. I sprayed this old walking stick that I got from the charity shop gold and navy blue nail polish rings, and I used to wind this rubber snake. But this was Pharaoh's scepter, but I needed to try and get up the street, so I decided to use this. I would be very ungrateful if I didn't do this, and that's why I'm doing it, because I'm grateful to God, but also you know, through learning about these principles, because yes, they do work. And I still have challenges, I won't say, but like everything, I'm still pushing through, I'm still pushing the barriers, but I can walk up the street without a walking stick, and I can get shopping, I can go to the shops, you know, and that is great. I can even get on a bus and go to a suburb or two closer. So that's great. They are great victories. But there's still one or two things. I'm still pushing the barriers, but I've come so far and my friends are amazed. And you heard the neighbours in this block of units. We call them units here, but condos, I think you call them in America. You heard their testimonies this morning when they saw me. They told you, and you are a complete stranger, and you heard what they said. Yeah. It's amazing what's happened, because they know I couldn't go just even a few steps down there without getting vertigo and the panic attacks. So it's all about encouraging you, and keep watching Sid Roth too, because you'll be greatly blessed. I can't see how you won't be. As I said, I'm just very grateful to God for what He's done, and I'm a firm believer that the best is yet to come. Amen.
Breakthrough in my mind, breakthrough in my spirit, breakthrough in my soul, breakthrough in my weakness, breakthrough in my struggle. You are the God. You are the God of in my city, in my county. Yeah. On Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, on Sunday.
Supernatural! Yay!
I'd just like to say thank you, Sid, for your wonderful, faithful witness these last 40 years in making it supernatural. I wouldn't be standing here today only for that program, by the grace of God first, of course, but for your program. I'd also like to thank Ken. I'd also like to thank all the lovely people in the prayer group for praying for me. Thank you so much. I'd also like to thank Brian and all the hard-working people in the Department of Orders. Thank you for getting my resources to me. I really appreciate that too. That's all. Thank you so much. And thanks be to God, of course.